This one's for the culture. Me and wifey in the room thinking of a master plan, thinking how we can influence the culture from where we stand. Knowing that our steps are ordered by the master's hand, still 10 toes down, we ain't switching up the stance. The mission of this music ain't just to make them dance, trying to tell them about the rock, cause they built.
Welcome to a bonus edition of the Bond Chronicles. We thank you so much for joining us. It's been a busy week in music, and so following up on our music podcast, we wanted to touch base on the Grammys.
The Grammys.
And all that there was, all that there wasn't, and just kind of get into it. So I am Mr. Bond Chronicles on Instagram and Mr. Ray Bond on Twitter, and I am joined by the lovely and beautiful
Mrs. Bond Chronicles on Instagram, just Robin Bond on Facebook. I don't use Twitter.
So we got a great show for you all, recapping everything, some hot takes, I'm sure. So we're going to get into it. So to start, for the Grammys, my biggest takeaway was a lot of the same people that performed at the AMAs performed at the Grammys.
Pretty much the same show, almost, with the exception of a couple new performers. It was basically the same thing.
Yeah. Silk Sonic definitely showed up. I was about to say.
It was a good performance because I stopped what I was doing to go and watch it. But, yeah, it was great. If they go on tour, I'm front row.
No, I definitely think they will go on tour, and they've, since then, I think Bruno's posted a couple videos kind of playing off of that.
Oh, yeah,
performance.
yeah.
So I definitely think that they plan to go on tour. It'll be curious to see how quickly people start going on tours. The world is definitely opening up in this side of the world. So I'm definitely excited for that. So did you have any other highlights, or what highlights did you have?
Lil Baby's performance was the best performance of the night, in my
100%.
opinion. Dang, I can't think of his name, but the guy who plays Nate on Insecure.
Yeah. He's Nathan. That's all.
No, he's got a real name.
Well, we know that. I think most people know him as Nathan.
I follow him on Instagram.
Okay,
and so I should know his name. He's got mad followers on Instagram.
Because he's Nathan.
No, I don't think I've seen him act in anything else, but obviously he's very politically active.
Yeah.
It was cool, little cameo. Just the performance overall. He had Killer Mike, and the leader from...
The poet lady. Was that who that was?
No, she's the leader from Black Lives Matter.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I thought that was the lady that, I can't remember. So many black people have died at the hands of cops, but somebody did something where she was speaking out. I don't know if it was George Floyd. I thought it was the same woman, but it was a different woman.
Oh, so maybe I need to be corrected because it looked like the lady who runs Black Lives Matter.
Could be. I'm not
either way
as well versed on.
She was dope.
Yeah.
Performance overall.
So that's twice. So as we said, he did a similar performance. Not similar. The content and the song was the same.
Yeah.
At the AMAs, but the visuals in this one, I think, took it even a step further. I believe probably because of COVID restrictions slightly lifting. But no, I definitely thought it was what's the word? I thought it was a legendary type performance for the Grammys. I saw that the numbers were way down for viewership.
Nobody cared.
It was like half, so it kind of sucks that such a great in-your-face performance probably didn't get the eyes and views that it needed.
Well, maybe not on the actual airing of the Grammys, but obviously the performance is on the internet.
White people ain't going back to watch that performance.
Well, we're not worried about them.
No, we do. They're the ones that are in these police unions. They're the ones that are in Congress, a lot of them. So we need those people to vote for people that will help end the things that we saw in that video.
Most definitely.
So no, I definitely was excited by that. I think we both said we thought that should have been the last performance.
Yeah, they definitely could have closed the show out.
Nothing against DaBaby or BTS or whoever else performed after that.
Didn't Meg and Cardi perform after that?
Maybe they did. Yeah. So we can get into that in a minute. I thought overall the performances were okay. I was underwhelmed in general with the difference of performance versus the AMAs. I was underwhelmed in the groups that won. Overall, I thought it was the same recycled people that we see every single year. Add in a couple little bit of new flavors, but whoever's, I guess, the flavor of the month, they just keep winning. And you would think that there's like 10 people in the whole music industry, because that's pretty much all that was represented, in my opinion, based on the awards and what I saw. But you mentioned Meg. She did win Best New Artist, which, I mean, I'm happy for Meg. Like, I can't imagine what her life has been like the last, year? Mm-hmm. How long was the Tory Lanez thing?
Oh, yeah, that did happen. So, yeah, like a year
ago. So I can only imagine, from Hot Girl Summer to, what was WAP her next big one?
No.
It was something else before Savage, I thought. Or did she go straight from Hot Girl Summer to Savage?
I don't think she went straight from Hot Girl Summer to Savage. I'm sure there were some other things in between, but those were like the majors.
Okay. So for the run that she's been on, she's had quite a few hits. She's been on a couple features.
Right. She got Best New Artist, Best Rap Song, and Best Rap Performance. All three of those. Cleaned up.
Again, so shout out to her. I thought she did really good at the AMAs too, so no surprise there. I think my takeaway from the AMAs was the best that rap has to offer is WAP. So I guess that was reiterated here. Not my opinion, but that's what the award shows, and they're...
Well, no, she won for Savage. The two songs that were nominated for those two categories were Savage.
Right, I'm talking about for the AMAs.
Oh, gotcha. Cool. Cool.
So, again, I'm not going to rain on Meg's parade. I'm happy for her. The indication that is the best rap performance and the best rap has to offer. I don't agree, but, that's where we're at. So, next, again, rehashing. This is another person that I think I'm going to actually have to go back and listen to.
Not really.
Try and get into.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, so there's cool, and then there's winning a bunch of awards all the time. So, there's artists I think they're cool, but she's winning Grammys at a pretty record rate.
Yeah, but she won last year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Maybe I need to actually go listen. I know she has a documentary that seemed intriguing enough. Seemed a little dark in some places, but it was intriguing to me. Did you watch the trailer?
I see the trailer, yeah. I don't know how you would say it was a little dark.
She started writing at her lowest point, and there was some questionable.
I mean, for what it's worth, a lot of her music does express, that dark point.
So that's what I'm talking about. that's the darkness that I'm referring to. Unlike Taylor Swift, who's light and bubbly
all the time,
except her relationships suck. But
shout out to John Mayer performing.
He did, which was kind of out of the blue. I didn't expect that.
I know, I didn't either. And again, I'm a huge John Mayer fan, so he could have sang the song that he sang with the country girl all by himself. The song was cool.
Country's Beyonce?
No,
that wasn't Country's Beyonce.
That wasn't Country's Beyonce. It was another. Girl, I can't remember her name, and I didn't write her down.
She's probably not that important because I don't really care that much about country. No disrespect to anyone else. I've enjoyed some country in my life, but I can count probably on a number of hands the time the country song is played on my Apple Music subscription, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, there's quite a few artists that play in mine.
Yeah, well, we know you dabble, in that side. Growing up, weren't you born in Fredericksburg?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Lots of farms and plantations in Fredericksburg.
Bruh. What?
There are.
Anyway, I was super excited for her. She won Song of the Year for I Can't Breathe, which is a beautiful song.
It is.
She's got a beautiful voice, a beautiful personality. She is just overall a really dope artist, and I'm really excited to see what her career brings. Because if she maintains the way that she is now, she's gonna definitely be somebody who we could get used to seeing at the Grammys. She's won before as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, if her career, if she maintains the way that she is right now, and obviously you want to see her grow as an artist, but man, she's got a lot of things in her that I'm really excited to see come out. And it's so funny because I saw her at Broccoli Festival a few years ago, and I didn't really listen to her then, so I didn't really pay attention to her performance. Brittany was like, I'm so surprised you're not into her. And then afterwards, I went, I was like, oh man, she was awesome. I really wish I had known about her before. And now, like, she's really cool. So shout out to her for that dope song winning and her just being her.
For sure. Do we know who she signed to? Do you know if she's Universal or anybody?
I do not. But I do know now what the difference between record of the year and song of the year is now.
We did learn that education thanks to Trevor Noah.
Right.
Who helped to break that down.
You helped break that down.
Ahead of time, we were like,
what's the
a lot of
difference?
these categories sound about the same. This specifically was like, I don't really get it. Well,
Yeah.
He explained it. Good.
And so the song of the year specifically is for the writer, songwriter, or just the songwriter of the awesome song. And the record of the year acknowledges all the technical people, the producers, the mixers, yeah, all those people on the song, including the songwriter and singer. So I guess I did not know that before. Well, I didn't know that before. I just thought it was basically the same award.
Yeah.
Which is why it's got a different name though, so should have figured.
Still redundant to me, but nonetheless. Just
True
give
enough.
someone Song of the Year and everybody that was associated with it get the award. But no, big shout out to her. She's been riding the wave. Super Bowl here. So hopefully we keep getting some new music.
The song she made for Judas and the Black Messiah was
Yeah.
really good too.
It was.
So yeah,
She's been doing her thing.
I'm
Women in music have been rolling recently.
because women run the world.
That is a conversation for another day. But between Beyonce, Cardi, Meg, her,
Ella, Taylor, there's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot, especially right now, that are all really, really hot. Doing a lot of great things. So shout out to all the ladies, the black queens out there winning awards, setting records, doing big things.
Big things, big things.
Another woman, Dua Lipa.
Another woman, right? Dua Lipa.
Billie Eilish was a woman, so I guess women do run the
Killed it at the Grammys this year. I am happy for that.
I guess as a man, we should just stop making music and stop doing anything because women are going to win all the awards.
So melodramatic.
I mean, Taylor won awards, so if you pretty much weren't a woman, you didn't win.
That's not true. So
all the big
Dua
categories.
Lipa,
What are you talking about?
she beat out Justin Bieber, your boy, but she also beat out Lady Gaga. Cause
Gaga won for something else, I thought.
Yeah, her and Ariana won for Rain on Me.
Two more women, yeah.
Sorry, but she won for Best Pop Vocal Album.
And I thought that was the hardest. I thought that was the hardest.
That was a really tough category.
Lots of big songs. Harry Styles did win.
Something else.
Didn't like his outfit at all.
I thought his boas were fine.
Yeah, he looked like a clown to me. But when you got a lot of money,
you gotta be more open-minded, babe.
In fashion, I'm not open-minded.
If you're knocking the boa, like if
his
that
outfit
could be,
was ugly.
That could be the new wave.
Okay, that could still be ugly.
You want those Yeezy? What is it though?
That's a new wave.
Those are hideous.
Offset was in those.
Those are hideous.
No, they also sold out and are reselling for like double their value.
I don't care. They're still ugly.
Okay, fair enough. His outfit was ugly. I can't really say. I feel like all the women I saw actually were dressed pretty dope.
No, yeah, I liked everybody.
I thought really the
I didn't like Taylor's dress.
Well, she's Taylor. I felt probably Beyonce was one of actually the worst dressed people at this particular award show.
Oh, did you see her after the Grammys outfit?
No.
Oh, that thing was fire. Yeah.
And then from what I understand, they arrived really late. So I don't feel like she was super invested in this award show.
No, I don't either.
She did phenomenal things, set records, and then expanded her lead in that record. So shout out to her. And we're going to give her some time, I know. But I was surprised at her attire. In LA, I would have thought it would have been more glamorous for such a... It's still a big award show.
Beyonce looked good to me.
I'm not saying she didn't look good. I'm just saying in relation to the others, I thought she was...
It must have been a statement.
She didn't step out or distinguish herself based on her dress to me. I thought Blue Ivy's dress and the way she was dressed was cute.
Where'd you see Blue Ivy?
They won an award.
Yeah, but Blue Ivy wasn't there.
They took a photo beforehand.
Oh, no, I didn't see that then. I'll have to go
They took
and
a
look.
cool little mom-daughter for their award win. A shout out to Blue Ivy, another
I know, it's so
young
dope.
lady who won an award.
You're getting ahead of the list, bro. Like, we gotta get back here.
That's not even on the list.
It is there.
That one person's on the list, but not what I was talking about.
Yes, it is. It's like, you know, there she is right there. You gotta see exactly. You gotta look at the notes, man.
You're talking about someone looking at the notes. All right. So you can get into Robert
Glasper?
Well, you spelled it wrong because I'm looking at the notes.
Oh, no, that's autocorrect.
Oh, now it's autocorrect. So now I'm using the notes.
100%
That's
autocorrect.
why I'm like, that's not his name, but I was going to read it anyway because I wanted to use the notes. So go ahead.
I was super excited because remember I was like, this song deserves to win over everyone in that category, and I'm super excited that it did. It's a beautiful song, also featuring her, and Michelle
Did you practice before this?
No, I've never been able to say her name. Like, I've been listening to her forever.
Maybe you should have listen to somebody on YouTube say it or listen to her.
I've actually heard other people pronounce it, but my mouth just can't form it.
Okay, well, you try it.
I do. I always try. And people know who I'm talking about, too. Because other people also find it difficult to pronounce her name.
It is
But either way, awesome for them. It's a beautiful song. I love Robert Glasper and his two collaborators. Yay.
All right. So, next we had Anderson .Paak for Best Melodic Rap Performance.
That's another one we should have looked up. Like, what is melodic rap performance? Like, because he sings too? So can Drake be? I think Drake was in that category. Yes, I think it's rappers that sing.
Is that a new category?
I've never heard of it before. So it could be.
Was Post in that category?
I think so.
So maybe that is it. It makes sense. And Post should have won for me.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. Like, you got to be better. Bounce back. This has got to be motivation.
I mean, for what it's worth, his album was really, really good. Okay. Circles, that's a dope one.
And so this was big. This next, Nas.
Yeah.
Won for Best Rap Album.
His first Grammy ever.
First Grammy.
Dude's been rapping for like 30 years.
Almost about as long as Jay.
As long as we've been alive.
And he got one.
He finally got his first one for an album that I unfortunately have not listened to. I think I've heard a couple songs from it.
I think this goes to the bigger point. I think we touched on this on our last podcast. It was a weak year. I thought the album was solid, but if what I hear from Silk Sonic and what I hear from Drake are going to be on albums, they would destroy all the albums that were put out this year, in my opinion. And Justin Bieber's dropped a couple. He wouldn't be in a rap album. But I just think next year we're going to have a bunch of really, really dope albums. And this year, I think it's sad that he capitalized, I think, on a weak class. I think even the names that were in Best Rap Album weren't big names. Like, he was definitely the biggest name. And that's not to say that the albums were bad. I just think if they were put against other albums, there was no Kanye's, there was no Jay-Z's, there was no Drake's, there was no...
Was Kanye still going to make, like, Rap albums?
I'm just saying, in the past, you would have been going up against rap albums with names of the likes of that.
Yeah.
Eminem's album was last year.
What album?
Something, he had like an angry album. I forget the title.
All of his albums are angry.
No, the title was like something angry.
Oh,
I think
it was the year before last.
Was it? Okay. So I'm saying he wasn't actually on here. I don't really listen to Eminem, but he's another big name that typically.
He's overrated.
I do think he's overrated. We can definitely have that conversation another day. And also in rap. So here's what I thought was interesting. I don't think I talked to you about this. So I don't know how familiar you are with NBA YoungBoy. But he streams out of this world.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't on anything. Like, if you look at the numbers he does, he's like one of the top streaming artists across the board. Like,
over Drake?
He's super close. Like, he puts up gaudy numbers. Gaudy. And he got no recognition. And I'm not sure why. I don't listen to him a ton. But I know my younger cousins and people probably in that 16 to 25 to 27 range love him.
Gotcha.
And I don't know why, even from a mass appeal, he doesn't seem to get the same love and credit that the Baby and Little Baby. But if you look at
who's he signed to, do you know?
I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't have a big.
And that could be part, he might not be part of the machine. I think that might be true. But it was interesting that, like, if you look at the numbers he does, like, they're crazy. And he had no recognition in this. Another person that put out an album, Jeezy, wasn't referenced at all. Big Sean put out an album, didn't have much of an impact. I think he was nominated for like one.
Yeah, and Meg won it.
And of course, Meg won it. But it was just an interesting year. But shout out to Nas. I know it kind of stepped on his success, but big respect to him. I think it's long overdue. Hopefully more are to come, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, technically, he's like towards the end of his when he does release stuff, it's like once every 10, 15 years. The last one he did before this was with Kanye, and that was like 8 songs, although it was really good.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. Do you think, or are we going to get to a place where EPs become a category? Because I feel like that's the new wave. And I don't know if it was a COVID thing, but I think even before COVID, EPs were becoming a much bigger, a lot more common. The 3 packs, the 5 packs versus like Tiana Taylor had one. A number of people have had
EPs.
Those, even if it's 8 to 10 songs, they'll be 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, for what
and I feel like those don't get.
Even Jasmine called Hotels
an
EP. Like, she didn't want to call it an album, but everyone was calling it an album, so I guess she just, went with it.
Because there was only, 6 songs? There's a bunch of interludes and stuff.
Yeah, but the interludes were good.
I'm saying in relation to an album.
Yeah.
And the track number, the actual songs, I think, was only a handful. That's why I think it's EP.
Like EPs have always been a thing. For what it's worth, Trey Songz, in between his major albums, like, he would drop EPs.
Because currently the top 3 songs on Billboard are from an EP.
Yes, which is crazy. When we looked at that, it was
one person.
Yeah, all Drake, all 3 of Drake's new singles are at the top of the Billboard Hot 100. So
I think they're gonna have to adjust with the times, because I don't think that's gonna change.
So yeah, I think even when you look at over time, people have been releasing EPs. It probably just seems more relevant now because it happens and the songs are really, really good on the EP versus these are just some throwaway songs that I don't know how I felt about them. I want y'all to hear them so I can see if I can explore different things.
Yeah, I think it also is that it's bigger artists that are doing them. Like, it doesn't get much bigger than Drake. Jasmine's a big artist. I think Tiana Taylor's a phenomenal artist.
I do too. I wish she would do more.
I know she's had some label issues.
She's had a lot of issues for what it's worth. Not getting, she's one of those people who, if she had better people really behind her pushing her brand, Like, she'd be out there more. But for whatever reason, the people can't get her right.
Good, isn't she?
She was originally. I don't know if she still is.
That's another group like Clips, Rick, Ross. None of those people dropped albums to the album of the year point.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I hope that we do get to see more from her as well. So this I thought was an interesting, and this is just kind of my ignorance to the Grammys. I didn't know this was even a category.
Yeah, there's all sorts of people have won it.
Yeah, I know we talked. What documentary we were watching? Whatever talk. I think was it Richard Pryor's? Yeah, when he set himself on fire and he was talking about he made the records, the audio records. So I guess the concept isn't new, but I just didn't know that there was a category for it, or I never really cared to look into it. So shout out to Tiffany Haddish for her win for the category that, again, like I said, I didn't even know it was a category from a Grammy standpoint, but Best Comedy Album. And she was actually the first woman to win it since 1986, which is kind of crazy.
Long time.
Again, before we were born. And the last person to win it was actually Whoopi Goldberg, who won it for, you don't have it on there. It's just home caddish like eyeliner. What the heck is that?
I don't know.
Was you drinking when you were type this?
No.
I'm guessing he's saying who?
Haddish. She
idolized?
Yeah, she loves Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay.
I saw an interview where she like cried talking about her one time. In relation to getting to play, act with her, something like that.
Meg cried with Beyonce. Look at that.
Yeah. And then it was funny because she found out while she was recording a segment.
Yeah, that she won.
Yeah, that she won.
Can't say the darndest things or something. Shout out to her. Get them
so that was really cool. And it's crazy that she's the first woman.
But have there, for what it's worth, have there been other big woman comedians besides Monique and
there's Wanda Sykes? There. Oh, do you? Race matter? Do we care, or is it just women?
I mean, even that. No, I was gonna say like McCarthy, the fat woman.
What?
You know the girl that she played the cop.
I know who you're talking about.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
She's fat.
That's not nice.
I'm pretty sure she knows she's fat and she's embraced it. I'm not like saying it disparagingly, but she is fat. That's how I was trying to
mess around and get us banned from YouTube.
Oh, because I said she's fat?
Yup, you're fat shaming.
I'm not fat shaming. I'm fat. So what are we talking about? Like, I'm in the same category.
Whatever. Jesus, fix it. Anywho,
so
really great for Tiffany to win that. She's put in a lot of work over the last few years. And it's good to see that she's getting some recognition for it. I guess it can't all be Kevin Hart.
I mean, I'm glad that it sounds like that era might be over, and I'm okay with that.
He's got some new stuff coming out, and obviously he's generating buzz. So
good for him.
You know.
I mean, good for him. Like, he got a family. Get your dollars. I'm never gonna be mad, but just not for me.
We know.
Yeah. They don't know.
Oh yeah. He don't like Kevin Hart, though.
I did not say that.
You don't like Kevin Hart.
I don't dislike Kevin Hart. I was oversaturated with Kevin Hart, and so now I'm in Kevin Hart withdrawals. So I'm embracing other comedians, the Mike Epps, the Dave Chappelle's, the
Mike Epps ain't did nothing in like 20 years.
He be in movies.
What movies he been in lately?
I don't remember.
Exactly.
But he was in a couple joints.
No, he's been in a few movies, but I'm asking what is.
I don't remember them all the time at the names, but I know I've seen him
recently in the last 3 years.
And I follow him on Instagram.
What movie has he done?
I don't remember the name. I just said that. I'm not about to waste time looking at it, but I know he's in this stuff. Especially since Kevin Hart got relevant. So again, I've been into other people. Shout out to Kevin. Keep getting your bags. Keep making your Jumanjis and all that. But, you know, I'm good. So,
Taylor Swift.
Because I don't really care about it.
I mean, she won. And it's kind of a huge deal.
Third time
Taylor Swift has won.
Third time.
Album of the year.
Is that album of the year when she beat Beyonce and Kanye had to put her in check?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Um, she's the first woman to ever win album of the year 3 times. I liked, I think, one of them that she won for. I have not listened to Folklore. I probably won't listen to Folklore.
I wish, you know how we went through when we did the best rappers and we kind of had a criteria?
Yeah.
What is the criteria for album of the year? What are they looking for? I wish I knew that.
Probably like sales, streams, combination of the charts, how high the singles chart.
So it doesn't matter how good the album actually is. It's just what the consumers are telling you is what it is. I refuse to believe that.
Because I'm pretty sure that's how she beat out Beyonce that year.
Yeah. And she beat Beyonce's Lemonade? No, that was before that.
No, she beat out... I think it was Beyonce.
Okay, yeah. Ignorance. I don't... Like we said, and I'm not going to get too emotionally invested, because I don't really care about these award shows. But it does suck when people keep winning that shouldn't be winning, and they rob people of an opportunity. So for all you the people that got nominations, shout out to y'all. The fact that you didn't win isn't necessarily an indication that you shouldn't have won. Like Billie Eilish said, Meg should have won for, I think it was Record of the Year. So could the artists know more than the people selecting these things? Invest in more people, enjoy your miserable lives because you make bad decisions on these records all the time.
Tell me how you really feel.
But you did get it right with Beyonce. I would argue for our generation, she has been one of the greatest artists. So for her to have the most Grammys, that definitely is a big thing.
Just keep going.
It was next. It's the next time.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, just
I was
going
to go, and then you started trying to interject. So I was like, all right. So she did make history. Most wins as a female artist with 28. Like, that, where do you even put 28 Grammys?
But
I mean, they got a bunch of money. They got a bunch of houses. But, like, what the heck do you do with 28 Grammys? Like,
apparently you can use awards, these statues, for all sorts of things. Like, somebody was eating off of theirs. I've actually seen Jay drink, I think, Ace of Spades out of one. Like, so, I mean, you can get creative.
And so this is just telling to me. I see you have here Alison Krauss.
Yeah.
Is second. With 27.
She's a country artist.
I've never heard of her.
It's because you don't listen to country music.
She's not, well, I listen to Carrie Underwood.
I
know Blake Shelton.
What songs do you know?
I don't know the names. Exactly. The point is, I know these artists. I know Reba McEntire. I know Kelly Clarkson. I know country artists. The fact that
Kelly Clarkson's not considered a country artist.
She's made country music.
Yeah, but she's not considered a country artist.
If you make country music, you're a country artist. Yes, you might dabble in the pop joint, and that's what got you hot. She still be making country. She sound country. She look country. She a country artist to me. So, as I was saying, the fact that Alison Krauss has the second most versus somebody like Jay-Z or Kanye or Whitney Houston, some of these other Michael Jackson or some phenomenal artists, that's what's wrong with the damn award show.
Alison Krauss is a really good artist.
She shouldn't be all-time Grammys.
But you've never listened to her, so you don't know.
I listen to the radio.
And Alison Krauss used to blow up the radio.
Yeah. How long ago?
It's been some time.
Okay. Then.
I don't know. I haven't listened to like country music recently.
I mean, if it was on the radio, if it was on Apple Music, if it was on Spotify,
it is on all of that.
My point, if it was on the top Hot 100s, name the last Alison Krauss song that was #1.
I don't know.
Exactly. This is ridiculous. This is the problem. Beyonce, you took your rightful place, but this Alison Krauss and people like that are ridiculous. That's what's wrong with the award shows. The all-time Oscar winner was somebody that nobody knows and nobody cares about. It's ridiculous. I want to know what rap artist got the most Grammys, and how many they got. Drake's been killing it for years. How many Grammys Drake got?
I don't know.
He need to have more. He should be above Alison Krauss. All right. I'm done.
You need some water? Do we need some pauses so you can go get some water or something?
So Beyonce won 4 Grammys.
4. She was nominated for 9 and she won 4.
Shout out to her. Best R&B performance. Best Rap Performance with Meg, Best Rap Song, and Best Music Video with 9-year-old Blue Ivy, which we talked about, who's now the second youngest to ever win a Grammy. So if she starts now, maybe she'll catch Alison Krauss by the time she's 55.
You're so angry. No, okay. I'm gonna pivot. Let you calm down for a second.
Just infuriating.
It is very
like black people in hip hop and rap and R&B. They have been the culture. And Alison Krauss.
I mean, for what it's worth, if you want to go there, like black people, black artists, basically created the blueprint for all music, down to bluegrass, country,
Black Bottom, all that
rock
R&B,
and roll.
rock and roll. We did that, and so to have some country woman, Alison Krauss, that I've never heard of, I've never heard her song, be number one thanks to Beyonce. Beyonce, thank God you overtook this woman, and hopefully more people will overtake her. But that's absurd. She better be writing. Do she dance or she just playing guitar? What other talent does she have besides making country music and robbing the Grammys? I don't know this woman, so I'm gonna let you answer, because Beyonce be working.
I don't actually know if Allison plays in it. I think she does play the guitar.
We don't even know you. We don't know what you do, what instruments you play, what songs you made, what impact you've had on the music industry outside.
She does a lot of charity. I do know that.
I don't care about charity. Beyonce do a bunch of charity.
And she's been
Travis Scott do a bunch of charity. What you mean?
And she's been honored at the Grand Ole Opry, which I would really love to go to one day.
But they gotta do it 27 Grammys.
It's a big deal. She's won a whole lot of CMAs too.
Well, I'd hope so if you got this many Grammys. Did you leave any CMAs for anybody else?
Yeah, plenty of people.
Goodness gracious.
So I was talking.
Yeah.
Can I talk again?
Yeah, you good. You got it. Sit back.
Get some water. Take a break.
I'm good.
Ooh, take a deep breath. Woosah.
Mm-hmm. You better go before I say something else.
Yay for Beyonce. Arguably the most influential artist of our time. I remember the year that I think Beck beat her out for album of the year or record of the year, one of those things. And a lot of people made the argument was because he wrote, he did all the instrumentals, he did all the producing, blah, 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 making his album and him more deserving of the award that year. And it's just really good to see a black woman killing the game at every stage of her career. Like, she came in the door killing it, she took some time off, she was still killing it. Like, everything, I mean, for what it's worth, everything her and Jay touch is like money. Just awesome. And obviously I am a huge Beyonce fan. I really love Black is King. Just everything about her. Like, I always say that kids shouldn't role model themselves, or kids shouldn't model themselves necessarily after celebrities and all of these things like that. Huh?
Go ahead. I know you're gonna say it. Go ahead.
But I think people like Beyonce are great influencers to young women just because of the message that they put out there and everything that Beyonce and other artists like her embody. What is your deal?
I just disagree with that take, but go ahead.
Why do you disagree with it?
I like Beyonce as a musician. I don't believe, I think she's done a lot of great things. Do I think she's necessarily the role model I would want for my daughter? No. And some of that is the speculation of the life that she's chosen to live and the decisions that she's chosen to make. But she's done a lot of good. She's matured a lot. But there have been times when I wasn't the biggest fan. So she's all for women empowerment. I get that, but wouldn't be who I would choose as a role model for our daughter.
You sound
I just literally sat up here and big up to her for 5 minutes because Alison Krauss is number 2. Is number 1. But when you go all the way to role model, I gotta have a different conversation. Same thing with Jay. I think Jay's great. He's done a lot of great things. He's put on a lot for artists. I don't think he's a role model.
That can be the topic of conversation for another pod. I don't want to go down this road right now.
That's fair. You gotta do your research.
So,
Ending the show on a very high note. Shout out to Jesus. And Kanye West comes through for Best Contemporary Christian Album. And he beat, I think it was Hillsong that was in that category, which is a big deal. I think we heard the album. Wait, no. That was Jesus is Born. Right? Which one's the first one? Jesus is King or Jesus is Born? Which one is him?
Jesus King.
Right. And he won for
the other one.
Jesus is Born, which is the choir.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm going to say that one came out when the boys was born, so that would have been too old. So, shout out to him. Shout out to the choir. There's a lot I could say. I'll give you a moment to share if you have anything, but I'm going to probably talk a little bit.
Oh, he's going to talk a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you haven't already been talking a little bit.
I'm just trying to defend black people.
Defend black people away, babe. Yeah, I thought both of those albums were really good, but I really did enjoy the one that was all the choir. It really showcased the thing that Kanye is best known for, and it's his producing skills. He hears sounds, he hears words, and he's able to break things down and arrange them in just a beautiful way. So it's not surprising that he's such a good choir director. I really enjoy the project. I'm really glad that he won. I'm sure it was really gratifying for him to win, obviously because of him making such a drastic career choice to follow his faith. I guess that's a good way to put it. To follow his faith and do the things that God has called him to do. Because he, like, if you listen to his interviews about where his music is going now, he'll tell you himself that God has always been sprinkled throughout his music. So for him to fully walk in that purpose, I'm not gonna hate on that. I'm super excited for him, and I'm really happy that he won. Because, like, again, it took him 4 albums to win a Grammy when those first 3 definitely deserved one. So for him to finally get recognition, you know, so early on in this transition in his career is really exciting. And now you can rant on.
No, you actually mentioned a couple of things that I hadn't thought about. So Kanye, again, I wouldn't, to my last one, I would not go role model, but as a man of faith, and as someone who has listened to Christian music, specifically Christian rap music for, I don't even know.
Like 90% of your life?
Nah. When I was a kid, Christian rap wasn't really a thing. Probably say 15 years, 10, 15 years. So maybe half my life. To hear the way in which he went from, I think the last thing he did was with Kid Cudi. Was that the last secular album he did?
Kids See Ghosts.
Or was the Nas one after that?
No, he put out like 4 little projects. And
it's not super important.
Okay.
So the point that I'm trying to make is that
he made this ridiculous song with this other rapper. I'll play it for you so you can hear how
unsaved it was.
Unsaved. Like, there's no Jesus in that song whatsoever. And then the next thing I heard from him is Jesus. And I'm like, wait, hold on, what just happened? Because they were still playing that other record on the radio when that came out. So, you know, thank God for the blood.
So, like, I know how it is to go from living in the world and then trying to make the change to live for Christ. And it's a difficult change. It's a big change. And that's for like a regular person. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like a regular person. For what it's
It
worth.
is not easy.
So to be him, to be the producer that he is, to be the artist that he is, to be the rapper that he is, and for him to make that, as you just pointed out, abrupt change, like, I was on board because I've been a Kanye fan from the beginning, but I had no idea what to expect. And not similar to his presidential race, but it was something where it's like, it was made, but I was like, is this real? Or is this like a publicity thing? And then the album came out. And for us, or at least for me, it was significant because I first heard it waiting in the waiting room for our kids to be born.
The boys, yeah.
So it was on an awful speaker that was like played through the phone thing. It was just terrible. But we had the Apple TV plugged up, and I was reading the stuff he was saying. And I was like, this is legit.
It was
like,
dope, yeah.
It was as if like a real safe person had wrote it.
A real safe person.
Not like the things he was saying wasn't something that I believe you can just
regurgitate
you can just create out of a creative space.
Yeah.
It comes from a place of experience and relationship, and taught and study. So it let me know that it came across as authentic, as someone who, chooses to believe in Jesus Christ. And so then to go from that, which I thought was really well done, and then go to this album with the choir, the Sunday service choir. And I don't remember when I first heard this album, but I was blown away. And as someone that grew up, I didn't really grow up Baptist, but I've been a part of Baptist culture. And to hear the choir, like, I've always liked choirs. In Christian music and secular music, choirs always kind of rile me up. And so to hear like you said, the production, and then even, I guess you would call it the remix of certain songs, some Christian, some not Christian, the samples, I was just super, super impressed. And it just goes to his creativity that I'm not gonna say that. I think there's very, very, very few people that can make that kind of transition that fast at that kind of quality level. And so I've seen kind of Justin Bieber's done that. And I'm interested to see his album. I think it comes out this week, Justice. And we've both followed his path, but as a rapper. And
a predominant rapper.
Rapper. And then as a producer, and that was Designer had basically said that's why he left Good Music, was because the vibe was different.
Yeah.
The standard was different. I was watching the JBP and I can't think of dude's name. From Griselda Records. I can't think of his name, I'm sorry. But he was saying he came out, Kanye invited him to come and write for whenever we're going to get Donda, if that's ever still a thing. But he was saying how difficult it was because you couldn't smoke weed in the studio. And so he said things like I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a culture shock. And then he told the story of how he went to Dre, and then Dre's studio was more open and he was able to flow, but it challenged him to be able to write in a different way. And so to hear what Kanye was able to produce and what he's been able to do, and then to even uphold the standard that, hey, I know who I am, I know how much money I can lose, but this is the standard if you're going to work with me. Like, I give the ultimate respect.
Yeah.
Yes, he's done a bunch of things, said a bunch of crazy things. A lot of times I think the crazy things he says, he's not wrong. The Beyonce thing, I didn't think it was wrong. The things he said on his campaign trail, much of which I thought he was right.
I don't think it's not even necessarily that what he says is wrong. Because when it's up here, I'm sure it makes a lot of sense. And then it's just the translation from what he's thinking up here. In the moment, sometimes it comes out wrong. But if you really sit and think about what he's saying, and especially listen to everything he's saying in the context in which he's saying it, then you understand him. But when you listen to a soundbite here, a soundbite there, a 30-second interview clip here, he sounds insane.
Right. We won't get into it here, but the Harriet Tubman quote, or the slavery quote rather, like, I was just really, really impressed, and I'm really happy that he was quote unquote rewarded. Hopefully he won't be peeing on this Grammy like he's done in the past. I would be curious to know if everybody in the choir gets a Grammy, or how that works.
I would assume so, because they were artists on the song.
I don't know if there's just one choir Grammy or if everybody in the choir gets an individual Grammy. That'd be interesting to know.
I think everybody gets it, because like when the people for record of the year, everybody gets one.
Yeah.
So I would assume, and then for what it's worth, best rap performance, Beyonce and Meg got one. So I would assume everybody gets one.
Hopefully. So shout out to all of them. Shout out to all the winners. Regardless of how I feel about the award show, winning is winning. Make sure that you parlay that into a bigger contract or a bigger split of your streams, whatever. If it's an award, and let it empower you. Let it be a bargaining chip. Let you continue to capitalize off of it. I am for the creators. I am for the artists. I am not for the industry and these labels and these bloodsuckers that take advantage of these people at such a young age and rob them and cheat them. So whatever you can do to get more out of them, I 100% support it. Congratulations to all the artists, all the women. It was fitting that in Women's History Month, all these women won all these awards. I know I came off earlier, but I am generally happy. I didn't really, as we were talking about it, I didn't realize how many women had won. But that's a sign of the times as well. So shout out to all the women that are doing things across the world in this industry. I hope you continue to do so, continue to overcome the sexist people, these people that try and force you into bad positions. Continue to overcome that, continue to write, continue to inspire, and continue to win.
Dang, that sounds like a really good wrap up for the whole thing. I don't know what I'm supposed to say now. Yeah, I just agree with you on pretty much all those points. Maybe not as passionately. I do support creatives. I'm a creative in a bunch of different aspects, so 100% I'm always behind the artist and not the blood-sucking labels. It's really exciting to see all the ladies take home so many awards this year, because normally women are definitely underrepresented across all aspects of the Grammys. Typically it's on like the poppy R&B things, awards that women win. So it's really cool to see so much dominance across the board. Hopefully this year will be even better for music. COVID is over. People are getting vaccinated. Music festivals are announcing dates. I'm so excited. It should be like we've already had some really good projects released so far this year. Gonna look forward to a lot more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it for me. Like I said, you really summed it up really good, babe.
Cool. Well, again, we appreciate y'all. We enjoy having this opportunity to share with y'all. Remember, like, share, subscribe,
hit us up. We are very humble people.
Yes, we are.
We like to talk.
So, in the sake of Women's History Month, I'm not going to respond. And I'm just going to say we love you and appreciate y'all. Take care.
Bye.